Peace, family. Peace, family. Welcome back to the Chef Joseph's Kick Sauce for Entrepreneurs channel. Man, I'm back. Didn't drop a video in the last couple of days because guess what? I finished my third book. And guess what? It took me 2 years to write it. 2 whole years. 2 years to write this book. This is actually my autobiography. And very proud of myself. And so coming towards the end and everything, it was kind of a hike up the mountain a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So it was like it took a lot, especially when you're digging back into your memories and things like that. We talk about going back, 25, 30 years ago, maybe. 20 to almost 30 years ago, just digging back into my memory bank. And so, of course, with that particular subject, it's a lot of different emotions and different things that you have to process and all that because you're literally digging back into feelings that you had buried. But nevertheless, it is complete. Yep. So I'll tell y'all more about that later. Today is December the 18th, right next to Christmas, isn't it? Man, the year is going by so quick. Glad y'all can make it back. Like and subscribe to the channel. So, today's topic is going to be, and this just came to me, and the title is Stress. Do not lose yourself behind other people. Stress. Do not lose yourself behind other people. Shout out to those of you who got a chance to get it together in life. To those of you who know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying. But I want to send a congratulations to you all, just for the fact of you comprehending what I just said. And to those of you who don't know what I'm saying or can't comprehend what I've just said, I'll explain it to you in this video. Stress. Do not lose yourself behind other people. I had looked, how can I say this? Within the last, it's been happening for a minute, but within the last, I don't know, year or so, I started looking at how much I've done for other people. I'm talking about volunteering at shelters. I'm talking about picking people up from shelters. I'm talking about providing services for shelters, for homeless people. Not just the shelters. I'm talking about people who need opportunities or jobs or however you want to put it. I've just been that middleman, and I looked up one day, and though I don't necessarily claim stress, which I know it's a term that exists, but I can just tell you I was carrying a lot of weight. And the most interesting thing about this weight, was that it did not belong to me. And I looked up, I had picked up extra weight. I had, I wasn't actually eating properly. You're working all day and then you stop somewhere and grab something that's not necessarily healthy for you. Not making healthier choices, for yourself. And I became very upset with myself. And because people don't, and I'm not blaming them, because see, as long as you've given, people will take. That's one thing that you must know. Long as the food is on the porch, everybody gonna eat. Boom, boom, boom. But the minute you say, you know what, I'm not putting any food out today. Matter of fact, why don't you cook for me? Oh, it's a problem now. Oh, it's a problem. Well, you've been cooking, show you who they really are. See what I'm saying? But I looked up one day, I had picked up extra weight. I had been doing and giving to everyone else to the point that I was unhappy. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure people that were around me, I'm sure it showed. I know I became very zero tolerant of any other excuse. When I look at the work that I put in for years, to get to where I am today, coming through homelessness and all that other stuff, there were no excuses given to me. See what I'm saying? And now that I'm on the other side of that particular conversation, it's very easy for me to spot excuses when I hear them or see them, you know. But I realized how much I was doing and giving to other people. And I actually, for a minute, I didn't quite lose myself, but I just kept on pushing, pushing, pushing until one day I had to put the brakes on. And what happened to me, I don't like this. Well, I don't like to say it, but I would consider this, to me, it was like a health scare. And I'll just use that for the lack of better words. I actually had a health scare, maybe, I don't know, about a month ago now. And yeah, I had a health scare. And most of my life, I literally have been healthy, running the 10 milers and cycling and jogging and running. Like this is kind of an athlete, martial arts, all that kind of stuff, since I was like 6 years old. So I've been pretty much into health most of my life, but I can tell you that dealing with people, I had begin to lose myself, taking people for their word. People say one thing and do something else, and then you're left to cover or you're left holding the bag. And I got sick and tired of it. Like this video, if you can identify with this. And you don't have to. Like I said, I don't do this for likes or anything, for real. Like, in this season of my life, I'm getting a message out. That's what it is. So whether you like or subscribe or not, it's cool. But just know, like, I'm talking about a lot of these things because as an entrepreneur, this is what I went through to build what I have been building up until today. But I had lost myself and really in carrying the weight of other people. And, I'm talking about if somebody needs a job or they need a ride to work. Now, first of all, the area I come from, if you find the job, and just like y'all know, if you find the job, whose responsibility is it to get to the job? Well, I got to walk an hour and da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? And then the bus don't run. It's your responsibility to get to work, sir. By any means necessary. That's just what it is. And I see so many grown men, and no shade thrown or given or anything, but I'm telling you, one thing I'm sick of is a grown man with excuses. I don't do it. Women too, but really the men. Okay, you look the part. You got your Yeezys on. You got your beard shaved, but you don't want to walk to get to your job. You understand? You talking to a man who rode a bicycle to work with one pedal? To the point one of the guys was joking with me. It's mentioned in the book, by the way. One day we were standing around the shade tree, and one of the guys named John was like, "Man, look at your right leg. It's bigger than the other one." It's like, what you mean? I looked down. He said, "We're going to call you Popeye the Sailor Man on the bottom half." Because one of my legs was bigger than the other. From pedaling the bike with one pedal. You know what I'm saying? Jokes. It's cool. It's what it was. But I had given so much of myself to other people in business, giving ideas to people, which all that is stopped. You pay me for my services at this point because, see, what I realize, as long as you give them for free, people will take. And if a person is serious about what they're supposed to do or what they want to do, they will invest in themselves, period. And I think someone would call it stress. I wouldn't necessarily call it stress. I'm just telling you I had extra weight that I was carrying for some other people who really weren't willing to carry the weight for themselves. But when everything hit the fan, they get mad and quit. because you have to get to work and it's your obligation to get there. I'm not Captain Saver, you know what I'm saying? We're talking about grown people. And if you want to get to the top in your life, you have to sacrifice. And that's just what it is. And this message is to you who find yourself finding yourself losing yourself behind other people. It's not acceptable. It's not healthy. Because at the end of the day, if you're not healthy, nothing's going to be healthy. And once we off and moved on to the upper room, these people still going to be down here begging, still sitting here with the same excuses. Seriously. And that's one thing that I started doing, really, probably in the last, don't get me wrong, I'm a good person. I don't mind helping people who generally need help, and they're trying and they've done what they can do on their side. Then yeah, we're supposed to be helpers one to another as much as we can without losing ourselves. But I am telling you, I literally put myself first. You know what I'm saying? I've seen so many women, no disrespect to the sisters and everything, that have grown children. And this is not throwing any shade. I'm talking about I've lived on this planet 5 decades pretty much. You know what I'm saying? And I have met women with children, and that mother bear instinct, you can't war with that. Because you mess around and become the enemy if you even, yeah. Because really, a lot of these children have to learn. And then we find ourselves as parents losing ourselves behind grown children who've made their own decisions. That's another thing that burned me the hell up. It does. Because, and another thing that I don't do, and I advise you too, because see, sometimes we want to rescue people. We want to jump in and rescue people who've made their own choices, whether it be good or bad. We want to jump in and rescue them. But in reality, life has to teach people. And you have to step back and let life teach them. Or let God do it. One of the two. Yeah, because if not, you cripple people. You cripple them. And I'm not about crippling people whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? If I'm going to help you, you need to be doing your part. But don't lose yourself behind other people. Don't lose yourself behind others. Don't do it. Sometimes they have to find their way. And guess what? They'll learn. And sometimes in life has to teach people. So my suggestion is, especially if y'all got these able-bodied grown kids or children, I tell them quick, God gave you a brain just like he gave me. Why you not using it? Oh, I get it. It's too hard to use. But you can get on your text phone, you can text 80 words per minute on your cell phone. But when it comes down to looking up a public library, where is that at? Just like you texting on Facebook, as the preacher, I used to go to, I was a minister to this church, the apostle English, he would be like, y'all be on the telephone, on the cell phone, Facebooking. Yeah, they be on that Facebooking. You know what I'm saying? But then you talk about where a job at, where that's at. Right. You dig what I'm saying? So this message today is just to let y'all know, is to not lose yourself behind other people. Put yourself first, because if you're not whole, if you're not healthy, then nothing is going to be right in your life. Nothing. And I know I made some really key decisions on different how I navigate my life now, especially coming into this new year. I made some decisions. I looked at everything around me, and I seen some things that definitely needed some major adjustments. And one of the major adjustments that I had to make was putting myself first. Exercising, eating right, you know, just being in a good mental space, taking some solitude, you know, for myself, which I suggest everyone do. Take some time for yourself. I don't care if you're in a relationship or not. Take some time for yourself. Some of y'all don't know how to do that, you know what I'm saying, because you're so busy doing for other people. But I'm gonna tell you something, when you learn to master the art of solitude, it's a beautiful thing. That doesn't mean that you can't be married or be in a relationship, but yeah, um, you know, but be sure to carve out some time for yourself. Um, this is another thing that came to me the other day too. When I look at marriages and stuff, I've actually never been married. Came close probably about 3 or 4 times, but I had to develop some more. That's the truth of the matter. As a man, I mean, I would have still been a great husband then, but I'm so glad that I waited because, you know, I wouldn't be, you know, nearly as, I don't feel like I would be where I'm at mentally if I would have just kind of tied the knot too early and all that stuff. So, but another thing, this is something that came to me the other day, is that you take y'all women that are married in marriages and you look at you all doing for the kids, doing for your husband, you're doing so much for everyone else, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, cooking dinner, all this kind of stuff. And, you know, I got to thinking about this thing. I was like, you know what, that's a pretty hefty responsibility. You know what I'm saying? Just the woman's role within the household by itself. You know what I'm saying? Because you're cooking for the family, taking the kids here, doctor's appointments, make sure everybody's straight, you know, and you kind of lose yourself within the family. I'm trying to think who I was talking to the other day. I was talking to somebody not too long ago. I don't know who it was. It was just kind of in casual conversation, but where the person had been married for so long. I don't remember if it was a man or a woman, somebody, but they were married and they had been married for like 20 something years. And it was like now that everything, the kids were grown and everybody gone and all that, it's like they literally don't know what to do with themselves because they've been so tied into this relationship or this marriage doing for other people. It's like now they're lost. And yeah, it's kind of scary. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, you know, if you're in relationships and stuff, take some time for yourself. You know what I'm saying? And put yourself first. I'm trying to tell you, that's the best decision that I've ever made. Not that I didn't do it before, but I'm paying more attention now because I've realized that on this earth, our time is it's short here, you know, on this planet. We ain't got, you know, the scripture says life is but a vapor. See what I'm saying? And so I'm not going to use my vapor helping somebody else who don't want to help themselves. You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to live and enjoy this life. You know what I'm saying? And then we have to be mentally healthy as well. So anyway, I'm going to let y'all go on this one. I just want to let y'all know I hadn't forgot about you. I just finished my autobiography. And I can't wait to present it to you. It's a whole full autobiography, literally, on everything. Yes, it is. Yeah, it took me 2 years to do it. 2 whole years. When I look back, 2 years, man. But you know, when you're writing about your whole life, yeah, it's definitely an experience. And so, but I want to encourage y'all again in closing is to don't lose yourself behind other people. Don't lose yourself behind other people. Thumbs up the video. I got to roll. I'll talk to y'all again. And that, in other words, I'll be able to have, anyway, I'll talk to y'all again. I'm going to leave that there. All right? Peace.